Everyone in India is happy. Honestly, it's the weekend for starters. Great news for the ladies at the Masters Golf because they've all been selected. No halfway cut this time, so it's cash for everyone, and points, and prizes. As to the weather, not a problem. Not for the green staff at Eagleton Village, nor for the umpires at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore, where Anil Kumble and the boys are getting stuck into Pakistan in a cruncher of a test match. There will be standing room on the golf course. First time the women professionals teed it up in Dubai, the world's best player followed the organisers' script to the letter, and the bank, Annika it was then, by 6. That many under in Bangalore, another of Europe's rising stars. They're loving La Nocera. The sponsors are just loving her. But look out, girls, she's right behind you. No less a colossus than Laura Davies. Rules is rules, but you wonder what more Laura D has to do to make golf's Hall of Fame. Winning here won't help that, but a commander of the British Empire prevailing in India? Here by picture postcard is the story so far. Now, graphically, the facts as we know them. The cricket can wait. It's the largest and the richest sports event ever staged for women in India. And the big question today, can Laura Davies make up the deficit on the leader Gladys Nocera of France? Or is Gladys going to go on to claim her second title of the season and her 5th in Europe? Another French lady, Virginie Lagoutte, is closest to her. Well, we've enjoyed our stay in Bangalore here on the Deccan Plateau in Karnataka at the Eagleton Golf Resort, and thankfully the weather today is heavenly, and we've not always been able to say that during the course of this event, but temperatures very acceptable. Tanya Wadhwa, the leading Indian player, and she's just 15 years of age, a remarkable achievement for her. But with all due respect to her, Diane, eyes are on others today.
Yes, and as you say, Laura Davies, she is a player who could catch Gladys Nocera. Definitely capable of a 62 or a 63, getting to know the course better. But we go out and meet Lisa Hall coming down the first fairway and unfortunately finding the left bunker. Now, she's really struggled with this hole all week.
Nearly everybody's struggled with this first hole. It's amazing, really. It doesn't look that difficult, but it's played very difficult.
It's over 400 yards long, and the second hole is a tricky one too. 364 yards, par 4, uphill. Maria Patel from Spain making a rare birdie on the second as well.
It's certainly one of her best weeks ever on the European Tour. Very cheerful disposition and level par at the moment. Using one of the local caddies, as many are this week.
They've been a great help. Gladys Nocera has given her caddy great credit this week for helping her out on the greens. Now Lisa Hall has a very difficult bunker shot here. Got to keep that flex in her knees. If she straightens up at all, she'll thin this through the green. Well, that's come out okay, but not quite what she expected. And unfortunately catching up in the apron past the pin, so she's going to have quite a quick putt down that green to save a par on the first.
Margarita Rigon. Now, talking about the caddies there, they've been a joy to behold. They've been cheerful, they've given good reads, and we ought to praise Captain Daz as well, the head greenkeeper here, for the quality and the hard work that he and his staff have put in.
This course really is in superb condition. Hardly a mark on the fairways, and these greens, although tough, are superb. Well, Lisa not giving that quite enough. I say quite quick down there. She didn't want to do anything too silly. Well, she doubled this hole the first day, bogeyed it yesterday and the day before, so very costly indeed for her.
Does Mardy Lunn, her caddy, still play?
No, not if she can help it.
A bit like Diane Barnard.
It's funny when you stop playing professionally, it's not fun anymore. It's much nicer to play tennis or squash or something else.
Another very distinctive figure here of Prieto, Marta Prieto from Sevilla in Spain. You just cannot miss her on the golf course, can you?
No, there's very distinctive socks she wears. And a good start for Marta. A player I expect to do well today. He's got a very good attitude, good golfing brain.
I suppose one of the reasons that the balls stop so firmly on the greens as well, we're 3,000 feet above sea level here, which not a lot of people realise. Bangalore is the most temperate climate of any city in India.
That does help the ball to go a little bit further through the air as well. Some of the players saying that they're definitely hitting the ball further here. And Gladys hitting that the perfect distance on the first. You could not get much better than that.
Would you say that was the shot of a champion?
I would say so. What a start for her.
Well, we said yesterday she's a good front runner.
Italy's Margherita Rigon. Well, that's a great putt. We haven't seen many putts hold from long distance. Difficult to judge the pace and the grain on these greens.
Well, I don't think the players have been complaining about the greens. Have been reasonably true.
Well, they're thoroughly enjoying playing this golf course. And Martine Herbert finding the rough on the first, and that's not ideal because this green releases all the way to the back and it's down grain as well, but she's done really well there.
That's a wonderful sight, isn't it, when you see a ball so close to a pin there.
That's very it calms the nerves, and you know you've just got that little tap in for your opening birdie. Good putt there from Marta Prieto.
Well, she comes from a great golfing stock in the sense that she went to the same university, Wake Forest in the United States of America, as one Arnold Palmer, also
Yes,
Curtis Strange.
That's right. Very good golf program there. Good academic university as well. And Martine Herbert trying to open up with a birdie. Gladys and Sarah right next to the pin here. Just falling in the side. And Martina moving to that long putter about 2 months ago. It really has transformed her game. Holding a lot of putts now.
Winner of the last event in Madrid. And that one really wriggled in the hole, didn't it? But, she's a great disposition.
Yeah, good looking stroke. Strokes it really well with that putter. Back and through. And that one tracking all the way. Just enough pace to fall in the left side.
It wasn't really that slow in real time. Now Maria Botel, who could say have her best ever finish on a European Tour event here. She has won an event, but it wasn't a major tour. It was the Nedbank SA Masters in Killarney in Ireland.
Oh, that's a great shot on the third. Again, this a tough par 3. You've only got 2 or 3 yards where you can land the ball to get it next to the pin. And this for an opening birdie for Gladys. Well, she couldn't have asked for a better start, could she? Moves her to 7 under.
I think the rest of the field is very aware of the fact that she's such a good front runner, and she's going to have to make mistakes probably for them to catch her up.
Yes, this is a course that hasn't given away many low scores. We've had a 66 from Virginie Legout Clement and a 67 from Laura Davis, a couple of 68s, but it's not easy to make birdies around here. But Maria Botel attempting to do so.
The weeks got better and better for Maria. She started with a 77, so she really did have to hang on in the second round, but then 2 very consistent 70s. Let's see what she can do today.
Yeah, a really disappointing year for Maria, unfortunately. Losing her card for next year, so she won't be able to play full time in 2008. But if she wins here, she'll get an exemption, but she has to beat this young lady.
32 years of age now, Gladys, Her wins have come in Switzerland, in Italy, in Spain and in Holland, so it'd be nice to add India to that list.
Yes, this of course the inaugural event in India, the EMAAR MGF Ladies Masters, and hopefully we'll be returning many more years in the future.
Yes, you saw the Temple of the Sun God there in the background. I'm sure some of the players have been up there, and I know many have been very keen to go to the local pottery school.
Well, I know that Gladys has visited Bangalore. I'm not sure if she's been to the pottery school though.
I think it was the organic farm. Well, a few of the players wanted to go there too. Now then, Virginia.
Oh, running nicely down to the pin. That's all down grain, but not as close as she would have liked.
She does hit the ball, gives it a good rip off the tee.
Yeah, she'll be the longest hitter in her 3-ball today. And this is Denmark's KM Jewel. Finding the centre of the cup. It's always a good sound.
Well, anything in the red has been very good here this week. At the start, people were predicting scores of about 15, 16 under, but it's proved much, much tougher than expected.
Yes, combination. Long rough and difficult greens. Outside chance here for Gladys for birdie. This all down grain, down the slope. She has to be very careful here. Sit down. Oh, that's gone some 7 or 8 feet by. So just hitting a little bit too much club into this green.
Yes, half an hour or so ago, Laura had her problems here, and at the third she bogeyed both, so her challenge is fading.
That was a good looking putt, but just moving away at the end. Gladys thinking it was moving a little right to left at the end, it just moved a touch left to right. But the pace just fooling her. As you can see, all downhill.
Scenically, it's a beautiful golf course, and many new courses being built in India. It really is a burgeoning country, financially and in every respect.
Absolutely, but the number of lady golfers still quite small, just in the hundreds rather than the thousands. But I'm sure this will make a difference and really raise the profile of women's golf.
Well, it's been great here to see Anjani Desai, the senior lady as they call her, of Indian golf, the first ever to win a tournament, and Champika Sayal, the Secretary General of the Women's Golf Association of India, is particularly proud about this event.
Yes, they've done a wonderful job. A lot of hard work from them to get this event together. Now, Virginie a little bit timid on that putt, didn't want to give it too much of a run, seeing what happened to Gladys. So that's unfortunately a bogey. Virginie doing the same thing as Gladys, playing a little bit too much club into that green. And Marta Prieto at 2 under, but unfortunately Trish Johnson having a terrible start. Double bogeyed the first, bogeyed the second, but that's a wonderful putt from Lisa Hall. Spent quite a bit of time on the putting green last night. Obviously wasn't very happy with the putting yesterday. Seems like it's paying off.
Well, practice always pays off, doesn't it? Hopefully. And really, her renaissance this year has been remarkable. She only came back in the Swiss Open last year, didn't she, after a year off?
That's right, she got an invitation to play. And unfortunately Gladys missing here on the second, so that's a bogey start for Gladys.
Dan, it sounds a bit crazy to say this, but if there is an Achilles heel for Gladys, it is on the putting green, isn't it? And it's that sort of distance that she seems to miss out on.
When you look at her stats from tee to green, she really is phenomenal. In the top 5, 6, but on the greens, not quite as consistent.
But Gladys Nocera is the leader, and she leads by 4 from Marta Prieto. Virginie Clement is also on 2 under, and here she is on the 4th, the par 5. The water on the left can come into play, but she's long enough to get beyond that water.
Yes, this hole really has caused a few problems this week for a few of the players, but no such problems for Virginie today. And she's not going to let Gladys out of her sight. already a two-time winner herself, so she's not afraid of winning.
Well, a number of players have actually gone down an adjacent fairway on that hole today.
Yes, it takes the water out of play, but it's a tough second shot. You've got to play back over the trees, so not so easy.
How many trees are there here?
40,000, my last count.
They're growing every day.
Give or take one or two.
Oh, that's unlucky for Maria. Just hopped off, didn't it, into that bunker in front of the green. Everything's in focus here. Many cameras around, unfortunately one or two mobile phones as well. But the players seem to be putting up with noise. There's even noise from adjacent building sites, but they block them out.
Yes, all part of the game. And that's a wonderful putt for Virginie. Her husband, Sebastian, lining her up. Does that on the fairway as well. Not sure I agree with it, but it is part of the game at the moment. Keeping her head nice and still.
They're just back from honeymoon as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been to New York. Delayed it some 11 months or so. But, this is a little bit of a honeymoon as well, coming to India. New experience.
Now we've caught up with Maria here on the 6th. We saw her go into the sand, and she's only just managed to get it up on to the level ground, or it's not even quite level there either.
Yeah, difficult shot. She really didn't have very much green to play with. Was trying to be a little bit too delicate. Gladys finding perfect position on the 5th. Some great banyan trees down this hole. And she's not going to have to negotiate that one, but didn't like it. Yeah, just leaked it out to the right a touch. Still, it's pin high. That's one thing about Gladys. She really doesn't hit that many shots too long or too short, unless of course it's the wrong club. Her club distance control is excellent.
Now she needs this for par, does Maria. Now, I was unlucky. It shaded the hole.
I seem a little distracted by something. Lots of wildlife around the golf course.
This hole's been quite costly for a lot of players, and Maria here, it's going to be double bogey for her.
Yeah, after such a great start, a couple of birdies in the first 3 holes. Giving 2 back there.
1 or 2 are probably finding it a bit warmer today as well. The heat might be getting to them. It is very, very warm out there. As we rejoin Gladys here. Trying to find another birdie just to close out the field. And that was a super putt. Really, that's the best putt we've seen so far.
Good looking stroke there from Gladys. As the left hand below the right. She's experimented with a few different putting grips over the last 6 months, but seems to have stuck with that one.
Now this is a par 3, which has been very costly for a few players. There is water right up to the green. Let's see if Marta Prieto can go beyond that water.
A 6 iron here for Marta. And, nearly a hole in one. Great shot there.
There have been a couple of shots there like that today. So one of the Irish players put it to a similar sort of a distance. Nice little tap in.
Okay, I'm just off the edge of the green. You can see where it's shiny on the green, light patches, that's where it's down grain, the darker patches into the grain.
Now we should warn you here that there's a shot of something very nasty coming up, so avert your gaze if you don't like snakes.
Ooh.
It was slick, wasn't it?
Very fast mover. Everyone's scattering, I'm not surprised.
Black cobra, we're told. Stay away.
Puff of the cheeks from KM, happy to see that one go in. She's at 2 under, so she's 5 behind.
And Prieto finishes off as we expected, birdie for her, and she's at 2 under.
Martina Abel getting our caddy Danny to line her up, similar to Virginie. The 7th hole reachable for most of the players. Par 5 playing the easiest hole this week. And that one unfortunately just stopping on the front edge. Didn't release at all. You would have thought so from the rough, but just landing in the upslope.
What a pleasant day for a nice stroll in the sunshine. And a potential winner still. Martina Ebel. He's on that list at number 8, as you can see, after that victory for her in Madrid. Bettina Howard hasn't had such a good week. Trish Johnson there in 4th place, but hasn't had a great start to her day today. Here she is now, though, trying to enhance her position.
Yeah, Trish Johnson. A great shot there. Well, that's making up for some of the disaster she had at the beginning of her round. And you can never count Trish out. Such a competitor. She never gives in.
Danny Wilde is the coach as well as the caddy here for Martina. And when she's around the greens, he actually goes behind and then he shouts something to her and tells her all sorts of things about what she's got to do.
Well, she seems to listen. And she's finishing off here for her birdie. Pretty straight putt. Slightly downhill. Now Martina Abel moving closer to the leader. Gladys not looking like she's doing a great deal wrong at the moment. They're going to have to catch her. Well, the trials and tribulations continue for Maria Brutel. I think she might be a little bit nervous. As you say, hasn't had that many good finishes on the Ladies European Tour.
No, it can get to anybody. It's a big stage, is this one, and a bigger crowd, of course, today as well, following the players around, which is great to see. Well, she still looks happy enough. Muy contente, as they say.
This 8th hole, 169 yards, par 3.
Never a good sign. I always think when they release the club like that, it's not a good finish either.
And Martina catching that very heavy indeed. She's got some 50 yards or so to the pin.
Yep, go through the routine.
Yeah, you can see catching behind the ball. It's quite teed up, and she caught the turf before the ball.
This game just gets up and bites you, doesn't it? She played the previous hole beautifully.
Again, Martina may be a little bit nervous. She hasn't played much golf over the last 2 months. Another good putt from KM. She has a coach caddying for her this week, James Petts, also coaches Ibn Tinning. And Martina finishing off with a double, unfortunately, so dropping 2 shots, moving back to 1 under.
She looked a bit resigned to that, didn't it? That was the penalty for the poor tee shot. Now then, Trish, after chipping in like that, she needs to build on that success. 3 over though, she's too far back I think now.
Yes, I think she'll be looking to play for 2nd or 3rd position. Again, the Solheim Cup points available this week, and only the top 10 will earn any points, so I'm sure Trish has that in her mind as well.
It's all the way uphill to this 10th, the par 5, 512 yards. It's quite a blind shot as well to a very undulating green.
And that is a tough pin position today, cut on that front right quarter. Not much room for error there at all.
Well, I said she's too far back, but she's still rolling him in.
That's back-to-back birdies for Trish Johnson. So an outward 9 of 39. And she had a couple of doubles early on the first and the fourth, which really cost her. Now this is downhill, across the grain, pretty quick. Straight in the middle.
Well, it was well read and it was well executed. It's nice to see her playing well this week as well. It's one of those games, this one, you know, they have good spells, they have bad spells, and once they're in a difficult trough, it's hard to get out of it.
Yeah, Marta not having the best of years, but she played well in Madrid a couple of months ago, finished 5th, so she has some good feelings. Gladys Sarah looks to be swinging really well. And unfortunately that one coming up just a touch short, but that's going to be okay. It's not finding the bunker. A much easier shot from there than it would be from the bunker.
Our first look today at Titya Plaksatapon from Thailand. Been playing with Laura Davis and actually playing better than Laura Davis today, which is a considerable achievement.
Yeah, it can be quite nerve-wracking for some of the players to play with someone like Laura, former number 1.
Titya looking for her best finish ever. Previously it was 8th in Tenerife. Here's Martina Ebel, who's had her problems in the last couple of holes. That's better.
That ball we see is the ball of Virginie Legout. So a good approach shot there on the 9th from Virginie.
And here's Titya, whose father, Mr. Tarat, coach and sometimes caddy, not always.
He spent a lot of time with her first year out on tour, but now she travels on her own most of the time. Oh, that's pretty good from Gladys. Shouldn't cause any problems for her to make par.
Well, yesterday she admitted that she sort of went to sleep almost during her round. Well, Laura has had a very up and down day. She's holding it together on the back 9, but she had a shocker of a front 9.
Yeah, 3 bogeys early on. Not really the start she wanted if she was going to shoot that 62, 63 today.
Well, caddy leads the applause. Well done, Titya. It would be nice to see her up in the top 10, representing Thailand. There are 2 Thai players here in the field, several Germans, and here is one of them in Martina Ebel.
Well, can Martina get a shot back after that double bogey on 8? Putting from the side of the pin, it's quite quick, a little bit of right to left movement. Not a problem. Well, that's good. That gets a little bit of momentum back.
She's very popular with the fans. She's been unlucky twice this week in hitting small bushes, which are sort of yardage markers on the golf course. One of her shots today, the ball actually went backwards.
Kind of think it's not your day when something like that happens. Well, we think it's Gladys's day, but she needs to hold these. Ooh, that wasn't a good stroke. Not at all. Gladys is up very quick on that putt. Had a look a little bit too quickly, moved on it and lost it to the right.
She is not running away with it. Gladys Nocera is 3 shots clear of Virginie Clement and 4 clear of Titya Plaksatapon and Karen Jule Marta Prieto. And from a tournament point of view and from the fans' point of view, certainly not from Gladys's, it's a good thing.
Absolutely. Well, she's led from start. We're not finished yet, but she was tied for the lead after the first round, led after the second and the third round. But I think it's going to be a tough finish today. These 2 players that she's playing with are not going to let her get too far ahead. Oh,
that's a fantastic response from Martina. I've seen some wonderful golf shots here, and the crowd has been treated in this first ever, of course, EMAAR MGF Ladies Masters in India, organised by Golf in Dubai, where everybody will be next week.
And they've done a great job this week. Everything has run very smoothly. And a very nice smooth stroke there from Titia. She will be used to playing on greens with a lot of grain.
Yes, I should say almost everybody. One or two missing out. People like Natalie Gulbis, she's going to be there. And Annika, of course, defending. Annika Sorenstam.
Yes, the world number 2. Very, very strong field next week. And Laura Davis. Birdie putt. Downhill. And she's really starting to find her form. Struggled the first couple of days. Had a great round yesterday, holed a lot of putts. Had a little bit of a different strategy on the course. Decided not to take the driver so much, and it really worked for her. Warming up for next week.
This is the signature hole, the 14th, par 3, across the water. Lovely viewing hole.
And again, a very tough pin position here today. Front right. Well, no such problems for Lisa. She has judged that very well indeed. You don't want to go right of this pin. Everything falls away down towards the water.
So Gladys is within 7 holes of claiming her second European title of the year, having won in Holland earlier.
Still has that 3-shot lead over Virginie Legout-Clement. And will it be 4 after that great approach shot?
Nice to see Laura finish with another birdie, wouldn't it, and get it to level. It's a very inviting final hole as well, this one, because you're looking down onto it no matter where you've gone onto the fairway. And this is super. That's a super shot.
Yes, and that green releases down as well. Slopes from front to back. Quite a few people out watching Laura today. Always draws a good crowd.
And Lisa's got some very cheerful followers as well. So they apparently were the ones who played with her in the Pro-Am, and they've turned up to cheer her all the way around.
Yeah, she's a good character. She will definitely keep her Pro-Am partners entertained. And that's a really good birdie on 14. And Lisa Hall edging up the leaderboard.
Worth just reiterating that the winner here this week in India, in Bangalore, wins €30,000. Second prize is €20,300, and the third prize is $14,000. So it looks as though it's going to be between these three, probably. Gladys, Virginia.
Well, Virginie matching Gladys on the 11th. So I wonder who will get to putt first and put the pressure on.
Meanwhile, it's Laura to end at level, which would be a considerable achievement after her first 2 rounds, where she was 7 over. Started with a 77 on the opening day. And she makes it a lovely ring and a nice way to end her first ever visit to India. And she must have been to, gosh, how many countries? 77, there you see, 74, 67 the highlight. And she gradually scratched out around a 70 today. I wonder if he's a star of the future. I'm amazed he's not at the cricket as well, though. We should say that India are playing Pakistan in Bangalore today.
Yes, really good crowds out here, considering such a great sporting occasion just down the road. Oh, Virginie knocking that putt in. 4 under. And Gladys has an opportunity as well from a similar distance. Actually, probably an easier putt. Ooh. Well, that wasn't too confident either, was it? Just finding the right
nervy
edge.
One. That was nervy. Anyway, she's still there. She's 7 under par, and she's in pole position. And Lisa Hall, the other one of the 3 we were talking about, is a potential winner of the top 3 prize money. Fires this one up into the azure blue.
This 12th hole downhill, par 3, 182 yards. And very difficult to get close to this pin, and Gladys has done really well there. Pitched into the upslope, took all the speed out of the ball. And Trish Johnson's third shot to the 15th.
She actually learned her golf in the windy conditions of Westwood Hoe down in Devon, so the wind won't have been a factor for her this week to trouble her.
No, she plays well in all sorts of conditions. Doesn't seem to trouble her at all.
They come from all over the world to watch golf. Many people travel far.
And Gladys has travelled very far. This putt just some 15 feet or so. A little left to right, across the slope. Well, that's a great birdie on 12. That really is. This is a tough hole to birdie today.
High fives with that caddy friend again. So she's been very pleased with him. But I do understand that she says she thinks she's got another caddy sorted out because she parted company with her regular caddy recently. He's gone back to Australia, Steve Walsh.
That's right. I think she's probably had a few phone calls from some of the caddies on tour.
Look at that from Lisa, punching the air. Cheerful as ever.
I think that must be her prime partner she's celebrating with. Sweden's Lotta Wallin. She's having a great week. Was tied for the lead with Gladys and Sarah after the first round. 3 under, and she's currently at 2 under.
Yeah, she's another looking for her best ever finish. 4th in Spain last year.
Trish Johnson finding the hole again. She is making a mini charge.
There's her caddy of long-standing, Neil Carter.
Yes, he's been very faithful.
Some very interested spectators here today. Obviously a golfing aficionado there.
They come from all over the world.
Even Yorkshire. A few Yorkshire girls to follow here this week as well.
Well, this girl is from Sweden, and she's finding a birdie on the 15th. And back to where she started the week.
It's the final round. It's Gladys Nocera from France, 7 under par, and her closest challenger also from France, Clement, 5 under.
Martina having all sorts of problems on 15, finding the trees, having to chip out, and this is her 5th shot. Come on. Unfortunately not releasing down the green, so she can have some 15 feet or so for bogey. She really has had a bit of an up and down time over the last 6 or 7 holes.
And the final couple of holes are always interesting here as well, so anything could happen yet. This isn't won and lost by any means, this tournament. As we find Marta Prieto firing one in, stops it almost dead on that green. But the travails of Martina Ebel continue, and this is a bogey putt, and it's going to end up as a double bogey for her. Such a shame. There they are, the happy snappers. But she's a composed player, I always think.
Yeah, she doesn't get down on herself very much at all. Always quite bubbly and upbeat. Same as Lisa. Second shot to the 17th.
Well, anybody who's played this game knows it's a mental game as much as anything, and you've got to retain a sense of humour, composure, and play golf shots like that.
Another wonderful shot from Lisa. We've seen a few shots this week nearly holed.
Lotta Wallin. Yes, the Swedes really spearheaded the challenge on the opening day. And Tebring's fallen away a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, she was a little surprised to find herself in that position after such a long layoff. 2.5 months since she'd played golf.
I think we could just mention, by the way, that the 15-year-old Tanya Wadhwa from India finished at 6 over par, which is great stuff for 4 rounds of golf, 74 today, and the more experienced Simi Mere was 3 shots back off that after a 73 today. But the putts are still going in around this golf course.
Yeah, good one there from Marta. She's looking a little weary. From the fringe on the 18th. That's curling in nicely, but just not enough speed.
Just to go to 4 under. Well done.
No problems.
And another good reason for celebration tonight. There's great variety here at Eagleton. The menu's terrific in the evening.
Yeah, lots to choose from. And all sorts of different curries, as you can imagine. Lotte Wallen finishing off with a 69, 3 under par.
I saw somebody eating chips last night. That's amazing. And somebody at breakfast this morning actually had pineapple juice on his cornflakes, but then some of our cameramen, I don't know.
That is quite an unusual combination, to say the least.
He's an unusual man. Some of the golf's been terrific this afternoon.
Yeah, really good conditions to play in today. Nice and warm, hardly a breath of wind. And the players getting used to this golf course. Another great approach shot from Lisa. She's going to be putting up the slope as well. I think she's trying to hole that, give herself a chance of maybe getting somewhere close to Gladys.
And this is Gladys, and if this goes in and she gets it to 8 under, she'll need to do, because we've just seen the most astonishing tee shot here from Virginia Clement, 345 yards off the tee, and this tournament is still alive because that miss there from Gladys opens the door a bit for Virginia.
Absolutely, if she can hole a putt and make eagle, and Gladys misses a putt, there could be a 3-shot swing on the 17th. A good finish on the final hole for Trish Johnson. Had that disappointing opening 9 of 39, but back in 33 for a level par 72.
Well, this is a massive putt. She came in over the trees to the right of the green. Phenomenal hit. 345 yards. You would not believe it, would you? In women's golf.
Well, she knew she had to do something special over these closing holes, and that was very, very poor. Not to get the ball to the hole and give herself a chance. That takes the pressure off Gladys a little bit. Now, so that's a par. And she remains at 7 under.
Well, that was a massive putt for her as well. It's still going to be birdie, I fancy, though, for Virginia here. It is. So she closes the gap to just 1, which is how they'll stand on the final tee.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to draw level with Gladys there. But still, just the 1 shot in it. And that's not much for 1 to play. Anything could happen.
Now, is Lisa going to play to the crowd again here, do you think?
I think there's every chance. This goes in, she might do a lap of honour around the green. Just not enough speed there. Closing 4 there for Lisa, and a best of the week, 69. A good week's work.
The best score of the week was a 66 yesterday from Virginia. There's Prieto rolling that one in very nicely too, and a good week for her as well. As you see, 2 closing rounds of 72 there. So 1 under was excellent. Now then, this is where Virginia's gone. I think she overcooked this one a little bit and hooked it.
Yeah, not coming in from the ideal position here, from the rough, and not much green to play with.
And Gladys is dead centre fairway and looking good. Well, she's got an outside chance of birdie there, I suppose. Must be, what, 20-footer though. There's Adrian Flaherty in the background from Golf in Dubai. Done an excellent job here organising this week.
Absolutely, they have. Wonderful job. I know the players have really enjoyed it. I've been so well looked after. Gladys Nasera needs to find the green, and she has. So if Virginia Clement can hole her putt, put a bit of pressure on Gladys. You never know, we might have a playoff.
And there is the lady who is so proud about this event, Champika Sayal, the Secretary General of the Women's Golf Association.
Oh, we get a good view here of Virginie's putt. Just not high enough. Well, she gave it a good go. She knew she could. Lisa Hall at 4 under. Virginie at 6 under. So even if she made bogey, she would still finish second.
If this goes in, she's won, but she's got 2 for it.
I don't think she'll be going for it.
Get it. Oh.
Well, that's a good putt. Just leaves herself a foot and a half. And it's looking like Gladys Nocera is going to take her 5th title on the LET. And a very good week for Virginie. Those 2 final rounds of 66-69. Just a shame about her second round.
And it's going to be a French 1-2, and then Gladys Nocera nudges this one into the hole. She will be the champion at the age of 32. The game is getting better and better, and Gladys Nocera claims her 2nd title of 2007 and her 5th in Europe, and she's about to get drenched from some exuberant fellow countrywomen.
Yes, the usual celebration, covered in water, not champagne this time.
Gladys Nocera is the winner here then of the EMAAR MGF Ladies Masters in Bangalore, and she wins it by a single shot from Virginie Lagoutte-Clément. Lisa Hall of England was in 3rd position, and all of these players there came close, but not close enough to stop the winner.
I really had a great time here, starting from the beginning, coming here a little bit earlier and taking the time to adjust from jet lag and getting to know a little bit the town. And after playing, it was just great.
So the whole experience has been great?
Yeah, I really loved it, and everybody's so nice, and being here with the sun while it's so cold at home, I guess it makes a difference also.
And she takes away the Lotus Temple Trophy. Oh, by the way, India are going quite nicely on day 1 against Pakistan as well. They made a great comeback. Here at the golf, there was just no stopping the lady from France.